because every country is struggling with exactly what you say. In some countries, there's a view that, oh, public diplomacy, that's propaganda, and we don't want to do that. And they don't realize, no, that was before 24/7 media and also the proliferation of democracies. Because think about it, before, if you don't have a democracy, then it really doesn't matter. But once you have a democracy, diplomat to diplomat making a decision is for nothing if that country cannot implement the policy that's been agreed between the two countries. Particularly if the government is in a tight coalition, then you have to be communicating, both the government and the other country need to be communicating to the people of that nation. And they need to be communicating in a way that's relevant to the people. So the days of government to government making decision and that's it are really over. I remember someone in South America saying, right, you've convinced me, this was a diplomat, you've convinced me, now you need to convince my people, because otherwise it's not going to happen. How much does it cost? It really is part of the training of a diplomat. That if a diplomat is part of the training, which is, the cost is there anyway, if part of the training is that we have to be engaging the people of other countries, and we have to be doing it in various ways, that's step number one. Step number two is that the individuals themselves are the public diplomacy. So, it's lovely to have funding to bring over country western band and dancers and so on, but even if you don't have that funding, you can at least, as an individual, go, as our embassies do, out into the schools and speak and talk about your country. And the other, if there's a shortage of funds, is try, as the gentleman raised, is to try and have a public-private partnership, to have business help you, to have the tourism industry help you. And that's a way of leveraging your funds. Also to try and find targets of opportunity. So we often find out that there will be a scholar going over for a book launch or an artist who's going over to a country. And if we find out about that, then we say, well, can we use you and have you go to some high schools? And so again, they're already there and we're just adding value. And usually, they're always, if they have the time, they're delighted to do that on behalf of their country. So that's another way where really, and especially in this day of internet, we should have some internet clearinghouse where if you're going abroad and you're an artist, poet, dance group, so on, that you can register, and then we try and find ways of leveraging that opportunity.
My name is Surendra Bhutani. I am a visiting professor to Polish Academy of Sciences. I am from India. And I am based here for many years. I was teaching in Oxford also, since I share the same interest which you have. Yes. But unfortunately, after the fall of the Berlin Wall, you closed down your center here. Are there any chances to open that center once again? Because we are missing a beautiful library, American literature, and American speakers. Now here you can see 20 small countries have their culture centers, and such the only superpower on this planet doesn't have any center,
Well, you raise a point that, boy, I hear everywhere I go. And of course, when I was in Heidelberg, we had the America House. And the America Houses, we went there all the time, exactly as you say, the library, the speakers, and it was terrific. It's unfortunate that those have been phased out, not in all countries, but in many countries. But there really was a view that technology and times are changing. And so what we've moved to, which is not quite as nice as that was, but are American corners that are part of, for example, libraries, and maybe I can hand over to you, Andy, to give some details of some of the places here, but to have corners of libraries that have American film, American magazines, American books, so it's a mini version. So many people can get things online now, and just times have changed, and we found what's popular is having a lot of access to internet. And in these places, we do have speakers, And we do have movie nights, so they're there, but not in the same version. Can I kind of mute?
Yeah. Hello again, the public affairs guy again. What you have said just now, I've heard in 5 different countries. People's first impressions many times, and a very favorable one, was their experience going to the America Corner, the American Library in our embassy in a country. I heard this in Norway, the America House story in Germany, Italy, all over. These were experiences that were the first favorable impression. My own experience growing up in New York, I went to the Goethe Institute up on 84th Street, and they said, here, take a book out, and that started me on a study of German as my major. So I fully understand that, and I completely sympathize. So what are we doing? Well, we've done a couple of things. First of all, that great library collection is actually over at the University of Warsaw. We took those books, and it's over at the American Studies Center at the University of Warsaw, and one of our conditions was we wanted that library to be accessible. So that should be. We will check to make sure it is, but that's one element. We've opened up 3 America Corners in other cities in Poland, directly because we realized we were also too capital-centric. We wanted to do things outside of the capital. So we have America Corners. One is in Wrocław, right on the Rynek. It's a beautiful location there. In Łódź, we have in partnership with the university there, and we've just opened one in Gdansk. The important thing to remember is that, as we were talking about partnerships as well, we do these in partnership with either the local authorities, the local university, or a local library. So they have a shared stake in having this library and this access center be available, as do we. And one of the things that we've tried to do here is it's important to keep a fresh stock of materials coming through there. People need to go back and have a reason to see some other reasons to go. If it's stale, there won't be a regular traffic there. So we supply regular subscriptions to US weeklies that ensures that there will be like a fresh take of material to go through and have that feel of, like you experienced, you know, going to the United States at that period. So very important to us. So.
Let me ask you a small question in this context. You were saying that we can read everything on the internet. How you can read New York book reviews, you know, unless you pay the money?
New York book reviews?
Yeah. And many other things. And you can't buy it here.
I share your pain. I share your pain, yes.
As a writer, I can tell you, I miss that periodical every day of my life.
Okay.
There's a way to answer that question, I'm sorry. Sorry, it took me a second to figure. One of the things, sadly, as we closed those physical bricks and mortar kind of libraries, we retained, we didn't close off complete contact with the public. We have what's called an information resource center, which we operate at the embassy, which actually has electronically available Nexus databases that can go and retrieve those kinds of articles that you're looking for. If you're looking for any article in the New York Times for the last 50 years, this kind of thing, we can help research that and find that and send it to you electronically. So you and I need to talk afterwards so I can give you ways to go. This is one of our ways. I mean, sadly, we don't have the physical, just come in and browse yourself. But in many ways, it's a more efficient information retrieval system, which is one of the reasons why we closed down the library itself. Much of this information can be exchanged electronically. So we can, I think, answer your question there.
Well, in that way, you are not allowing people to read books, you know. You're making them more, what I call them, sophisticatedly ignorant, you know. They should not read the books or the periodicals. They should see only internet and spoil their eyes, you know.
Yeah, that's the direction it's going, but at least you can be sitting at your home and delivered straight to your laptop, computer.
Does it work? No. Does it work? Hello?
Yes.
Good. So, dear Ms. Graffy, you have touched upon the subject of
Just introduce yourself.
Well, yes, my name is Damian Żarkiewicz, I'm a non-aligned translator, and you have touched upon the subject of culture. And I can't resist the impression that public diplomacy is about exporting American culture worldwide. Am I wrong? If so, please tell me what measure does the government of the United States